Hey there guys, welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. This is it. Don't get scared now. How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining me once again. It's been a busy night. I actually just uploaded a brand new movie review of a little movie called Smile. So turn those frowns upside down because it's time for a brand new live show where we can answer everything that you guys want to talk about, or we can dive into the main topic of this video where I want to talk about Deadpool 3, the newest announcement that just came out, something I never thought would happen. I don't want to overhype it too much, but before we dive into that, my question to you guys is, what do you think about the newest news that Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine in Deadpool 3 in 2024? Post those comments right here, right now. We're going to dive into them in just 90 seconds. And I want to give a quick mention to the sponsor of this live show because they help pay for the internet, the electric. That way we don't have to make these live streams in a cardboard box behind the movie theater because we're getting very close to that point. But not yet. Not yet. So quick mention to the sponsor. We'll be right back to talk about Deadpool 3. And I'll also be doing a giveaway of this little 4K right here. So I still know what you guys did last summer. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This video is sponsored by ZBiotics. What is ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic? Let me tell you. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is a genetically engineered probiotic you drink before drinking alcohol to avoid the rough next morning and get back to living your life. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic, built by PhD microbiologists. ZBiotics is a probiotic drink that breaks down the byproduct of alcohol, which is most responsible for rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, a toxic byproduct of alcohol builds up in your unprepared gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that causes you to feel terrible the day after drinking. ZBiotics produces an enzyme like the one your liver uses to break down this byproduct. It's simple to use. Drink a bottle of ZBiotics before your first drink of alcohol. Drink responsibly, pace yourself and get a good night's sleep, and enjoy your next day feeling refreshed and ready to make the most of it. This is real science that works. No random plant extracts, and no off-the-shelf ingredients. And there's a 100% money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied. Here's a quick story about me. I tried ZBiotics for the first time last weekend when I went to a wedding. Not a big fan of weddings, so I had a few drinks to pass the time, and I will just say I felt great the next day after trying ZBiotics. And since Halloween's right around the corner and you might be attending some Halloween parties, you can order ZBiotics right now to get it in plenty of time. Click the link in the description box and use my code FLICKPICK to get 15% off. Go to zbiotics.com/FlickPick and get 15% off your first order now. And we're back. Thanks for watching that, guys. It does help out the channel. So let's talk all about Deadpool 3. These are my quick thoughts, and I want you guys to share your thoughts on it because there's a lot of conflicting things right here. Some people are just over it. Some people love it. It's like the second coming of Jesus Christ, except this version of Jesus Christ has adamantium claws, and his name's Hugh Jackman. Then again, I would be okay with that. I like it. This gets me more excited about Deadpool 3 than I think anything else you could say, other than the entire X-Men team shows up and Deadpool's part of it. The fact that Hugh Jackman's coming back, at first, I didn't know what to think. I needed to ponder on that thought for a few days, right? That's why I didn't initially make a video about it. I was like, I'm going to savor the flavor, let it resonate for a second, and then I wanted to actually have a discussion with you guys about it because it's like a divisive topic for some odd reason. Comic book movies, who thought? My initial thoughts were, oh gosh, this is going to undo the legacy known as Logan, which is a masterpiece, one of the best comic book films ever made. Perfection, right? But then I stepped back and I was like, wait. Logan takes place in the future. If Deadpool 3 takes place in the present, then it's not undoing that legacy that happens down the road. So I was like, okay, we can have some fun with it. My only drawback to this news is I'm hoping that they don't just include Hugh Jackman once again as Wolverine for the sake of some joke or some meme. That to me would be an utter waste. Here's what I want to see. All right, if you're going to have a Deadpool movie, and we know they go for it when it comes to Deadpool. It's comic book accurate for the most part. He breaks the fourth wall. They don't hold back shit. So I think it's time that we finally get Hugh Jackman suiting up in his whatever color combination you want. Do you want the yellow and blue? Do you want the red and yellow, the brown and red? Whatever color combination of suit you want. Give Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, his suit back. Give him a mask. Let him do a berserker attack and kick some fucking ass, please. And if you're going to make it rated R, like Logan was, and like the previous Deadpool movies were, then just completely go for it. This can be the ultimate comic book accurate adaptation of Wolverine that we haven't quite ever gotten in a live action film. So that would get me excited if they in fact do all that and they don't just make it some stupid joke. I'm hoping they don't do that. Also, I think the team up, this could be the ultimate like buddy team up movie. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. It's been teased for years. The joke has been going since the first Deadpool movie. And now it's sort of like we get the blow off, the culmination to that joke leading into this. I'm just hoping it doesn't disappoint. But yeah, I want you guys to chime in. Tell me what you guys think about it. I would love to know. And by the way, I even like the logo for it. Like, look at the logo, Deadpool 3. I don't know if this is official. I think this is a lot of fan art, but either way, that looks pretty badass. And then you have this right here. Do you guys remember a time when Fox acquired Deadpool and everyone was afraid that it wouldn't be rated R, myself included? I'm still hoping they push that hard R rating and don't give it the watered down R treatment, because you can still make a very watered down R rating or R rated movie so yeah, there's been some movies that are rated R, but like they could have been PG-13. I'm hoping this one deserves the R rating is what I'm saying. And then we have this right here. Oh, where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There's the suit. Do you remember when they teased this shit and they're just like, nah, we'll put it in the bonus features of the DVD? How angry were all of we? Like, just put the suit on him, please. I need this. My body is ready. And then last but certainly not least, this visual better happen in the movie. That to me would make me happy. Okay, guys, let's chime in. Someone said, I thought Hugh Jackman was physically done with the role. He couldn't keep up. Well, you know, that's the benefit. If you put a suit on him, he no longer has to have those abs of steel and those ginormous pecs. The suit can make up the difference. Just saying. What else do we have here? But does it help you poop? Oh, yes. Z-Biotics. I don't know if it helps you poop, but it does help with the next morning. That needs to happen. Hey, John, any other X-Men characters you would like to see in Deadpool 3? I think you don't really need much. If you're going to have Wolverine in there, you don't need anyone else. Don't share the spotlight with anyone else. If you're going to have the X-Men introduced into the MCU in a few years, just give Hugh Jackman the spotlight in this film and then move on. I don't think we need to water it down with anyone else. Black Adam's next month. Who's excited? Not this guy from Josh Coffey. Speaking of Black Adam, I'm drinking The Rock's sweat right now. This is actually his energy drink. No, this isn't a caffeinated beverage. No, this is actually what they do is they filter The Rock's sweat. He just holds up, he puts a funnel up to his armpit as he works out, and it goes into a big vat. And what they do is they filter that sweat and they put it in his energy drink. And I'm drinking it now. It tastes like pina coladas and battery acid. They didn't even want to greenlight this movie. Yeah, I assure you this will be if this comes out in 2024, September 24th, 2024, I guarantee this will be in the top. Well, there's a few other big movies coming out that year, isn't there? This will be in the top 5. This can easily be a $1 billion plus movie. The last few Deadpools did it. I'm sure this one can too. Hugh Jackman kind of shrunk down a little bit since he stopped taking his supplements. We'll just say his supplements. He shrunk down a little bit, but the guy is still in great physical shape. And once again, he doesn't need to get completely jacked for this role. If he's not doing a shirtless scene and he's just wearing the suit, he'll be okay. Just grow some mutton chops on the side. I'll be happy. It'll be a joke. I'm hoping it's not a joke. That's my biggest fear. They treat it like a joke. They need to treat this not ultra serious, but they at least need to dedicate a section of this film to being serious for the most part. Like, you can have the funny, quippy jokes and the back and forth banter, but I want to see the most violent Wolverine incarnation we've ever seen. This is your one last time to do it. Don't waste this. That could be the biggest disappointment ever. What else do we have here? Looking for your questions. I love The Rock, but he's highly overrated. The Rock has just been The Rock in the last 25 movies he starred in. What else? Okay. Shazam padded suit. Look at Zach Levy, or Levi. Dude has no muscles. Yeah, the Shazam padded suit was a bit much. Just a bit. It looked like me when I was dressed up for Halloween when I was 8 years old, but I put like pillows to make myself look more muscular. That first Shazam suit, I was not a big fan of. The newest one looks a little bit better. Superman cameo at the end of Black Adam? Maybe. Anything's possible. Maybe they'll mention him. Who knows? I don't think DC knows what they're doing, so they didn't quite have the foresight to even think that far ahead. 2024 is going to be packed from the White Skull. Indeed it is. If you're a comic book nerd, your melon is going to explode. All right. I'm going to dive into some of the super chats here because you guys are already killing it. So here we go. Josh Coffey says, Flick Pick, thoughts on Jeepers Creepers 4, so bad. I knew it was going to be bad. Wasn't the third one really bad too? I like the first Jeepers Creepers. I saw the second one a few times, sort of a guilty pleasure. I will probably never I'll never get around to watching the newest Jeepers Creepers. It just looked shitty. Like, why waste your time and your humanity watching a subpar film that's simply just trying to survive on name recognition from a previous film that was way better from 20 years ago? Yeah, just go watch the first Jeepers Creepers. That's all you need. The next one comes from 1901. John, I just saw Avatar last week. Seeing this on the big screen made me even more disappointed because they wasted these visuals on this cliche story. Well, listen. The story is sufficient. The visuals make up for the lack of originality. But then again, I like looking at 9-foot-tall blue alien people. Did you enjoy your theater experience of watching it? Was it visual immersiveness? Did you escape from reality? Then who gives a fuck about the story? It succeeded on every other point except for a story that's been done. But then again, if you look at most stories in big blockbuster films, there's only 20 different storylines. Sure, they tweak and change a few things, but more or less, they share the same 20 storylines in every blockbuster film. So I think that's an unfair assessment of Avatar. I still like it, but I was meaning to go back and see it in theaters again. I just haven't gotten a chance to. And it's one of those movies it's not a short movie, and I own the Blu-ray, and I know the 4K is coming out, and it's sort of one of those things like I'd just rather watch it at home again and possibly make a movie night video for it before the new one comes out. So I don't know if I have a question if you guys have seen it in theaters or you know more about the theatrical release of Avatar. Did they remaster it or re-render the effects in 4K? Now, I know they included a few new scenes, but what did they actually change? I just don't know if I can bring myself to go see it again at the theater. Brightburns 1985 says, do you hate Die Another Day? Describe your feelings. I do hate it. I really, everything besides the GoldenEye back in the mid-90s with Pierce Brosnan, I don't really like his James Bond movies. I really don't. They subsequently get worse as they continue on. And then you have the last one where he's driving in an ice fortress with an invisible car, and you're just like, we're done here. We're done. It's over. We've jumped the shark. We're done. So those are my thoughts. If you're not watching GoldenEye, you're not watching a James Bond flick. D-Train says, Barbarian, Pearl, and now Smile. Horror might be my new favorite genre. They were all incredible, yet original. Mia Goth deserves an Oscar nom. I'm going to disagree with you. I think there's a lot of good horror. I think there's a lot of entertaining horror films coming out. I think Barbarian was decent. The third act got a little bit over the top and crazy and sort of stupid. I have not seen Pearl yet. I've heard good things. I did just post a brand new review for the movie Smile over in the Flick Pick channel 10 minutes before doing this live show. I almost didn't do the live show tonight, but I'm running out of time with this current office space, and I will be moving, so you guys might have to wait a week for a new live show as I do my new office and set it up and get everything going. That's why I felt like I owed it to you tonight. But yeah, as far as Smile goes, and you said original, I'm going to disagree with the term original, because that feels like it just borrows 25 ideas other horror films have done for the last 25 years and crammed it into this. Not to say I don't think it was entertaining. It was tone deaf. It has every trope you've already seen, but it was a good time. Because whenever you just have random scenes of people's heads falling off, I'm going to have a good time. I don't think it's a quality movie, and from a critical standpoint, it's not that great. But do I think it's an entertaining horror film? Yes, I do. Go watch that review. Give it a thumbs up if you want to. You don't have to. The next one comes from Mikey G. Pristine certified LG refurbished 77 C1 2-year, you're describing TV here, 2-year warranty for $2,200 tax free, or should I wait for a better deal? What do you got? 77-inch C1? Yeah, man, $2,200. That's not a bad deal. I would go for it. Now, here I'm aiming for the 83-inch C2. Now, if you're a TV nerd or a tech nerd, I secretly am. I just don't show you guys that side of me quite a bit. So here's the big difference with the C1 and the C2 panel. The C2 panel will be slightly better. There's just a multitude of things that are slightly better. Now, for the most part, will you ever notice it? No, you will not. Will it make you feel better about yourself knowing that you have that slightly better panel? For me, yes. If I'm going to do an investment that costs thousands of dollars for TV that I'm going to look at every little pixel, I'm going to get the best one I can. Now, the good news for you, if that C1 77-inch TV, which is a good deal, I would recommend getting it. And you might be in luck because I know some of the later models of the C1 panels actually have the upgraded screen in them. It's the Evo screen. So some of the later models of that same year have a better screen than in the earlier part of the year. If you look it up, there's a way to tell by the serial number, so double check that before you buy it. But nevertheless, $2,200 for a 77-inch OLED TV, dude, fuck yeah, go buy it. I remember when I bought my first OLED TV back in 2017, it was a 65-inch for like $3,500 or $3,600. So yeah, the one I'm looking at right now costs $5,000. Is that cheap? No, it is not. Is that a lot of money? Yes, it is. Can I afford it? Not really. But that's why I'm doing a lot of sponsorships, and I will be putting that shit on a credit card and paying it off for the next 5 years. I don't care. You only live once. That's my motto. Go into debt. Who cares? Get what you want today and pay it later, or pay it for the rest of your life and live in agonizing pain. Small price to pay, though, for an 83-inch TV in front of your eyeballs. That's just my motto. Don't take financial advice from me. I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos about movies. What do I know? Let's go to the next question. The next one comes from, and you guys are killing it with the questions. Get him a body bag. Have you finished Cobra Kai Season 5? If so, what are your thoughts? That is a great question. I am currently on episode 3, and please understand, it's been a very busy couple of weeks for me. I have been sitting in this chair in this office. The other night, I sat here for 14 hours editing videos. Videos that have not yet been released. Some of them have. So I've said this once, I'll say it again. I have a buddy. It's sort of like our time that we hang out once a week. We're going to get together in a few days and finish Cobra Kai, or at least get through a few more episodes. It's sort of one of those things that we savor the flavor. You know, I feel like 2 or 3 episodes of Cobra Kai at a time go a long way. Max Nugenbauer, finally watched Gladiator. I really loved it. It's by far my second favorite Ridley Scott movie. Just love Black Hawk Down more. Black Hawk Down, I've seen it a few times. I like it, but Gladiator for me is my favorite Ridley Scott film by far. And it's probably in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. It never gets old. Maximus Decimus Meridius, father to a dead son, husband to a dead wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. I'm paraphrasing there, but yeah, man. I love epic time period films, and that just... It's like somebody went into my brain and made Gladiator. It's like a movie. It never gets tiresome to watch. I could watch it right now and be completely content with life. Uncle Gary. Hey, Uncle Gary. How's it going? Recently saw Once Upon a Time in America, and although I loved it, I find it very uncomfortable to watch. A lot of grape scenes. I can't see that movie getting made nowadays. I can't see a majority of movies that are phenomenal, great classics getting made nowadays. If you even go back and watch some of the 1980s comedy films that use certain terminology that would offend a lot of people nowadays, but at the time, it wasn't meant that way. Yeah, those would never be made today. And it's sort of scary and sad to me. It's like artists could push the limits before everyone was offended. But it's sort of an interesting concept. See, sometimes when I take edibles and I watch movies, I watch them from a very subjective, different perspective sometimes. And I was watching like Ferris Bueller's Day Off a few days ago after I had taken one of these said edibles. And I was thinking to myself, the reason that movies got away with so much is before everyone was allowed to post their opinions on the internet. Really think about that. Before Twitter, before Facebook, before YouTube, there was no outlet just for the everyday guy to post his thoughts. If you liked something or hated something, your opinion didn't really fucking matter. It really didn't. Like, it would show up at the box office. The box office numbers are what mattered. And if you really cared to complain about something, you had to write a letter and send it to who knows. Like, who do you send this letter to? I don't like that he said this and this, and he did this. Yeah, you can mail that shit to nobody cares. But now you can put a tweet out, hashtag something, and that one tweet can completely change the path or the direction that one movie was going or the entire film industry was going, which is a scary thing in itself. These are the things I think about at 3 o'clock in the morning. Either way, I don't want to get too philosophical on you. Let's keep going. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in America, it's at least you should watch it once in your life. Do I recommend, like, is it going to have the rewatchability of something like Goodfellas? Probably not. The next one comes from Joseph Knowles. Imagine if this movie came out in the 90s before the internet was huge and people went to see the movie without knowing Wolverine would be in it. Yeah, your melon would explode. Your eyeballs would pop out of your head. Yeah. But we live in a day and age where no one has the attention span of more than 3.5 seconds. TikTok is a perfect example of how society is declining. And don't get me wrong, I spend many hours on TikTok and I hate myself for it. And I literally feel like I got nothing out of it. And I feel sad and pathetic when I'm done scrolling through TikTok for 20 hours. But with that said, the fact that they announced Hugh Jackman will be in the new Deadpool movie, the hype goes up to here. And the box office will be up there as well. Even if the movie sucks and it's terrible and it's a complete letdown, it's going to make money, right? So that's the day and age we live in. You have to almost tell people everything that's going to happen in a movie, or else they won't get off their ass and go to the movie theater to see it. It's just a weird phenomenon. Now, hardcore fans will always be there day one, but general audiences, you have to really like pull people off the couch, like physically pick them up, drag them to the theater and say, okay, you're going to get this, and this, and Wolverine's in it too. That's how people go to see movies nowadays. That's how you market a movie. It's kind of a weird thing. It used to be a time where less is more. It's like the mystery is what got you to the theater. Now you need the ending told to you to get to the theater. The film industry is so weird. In the last 30 years, it has changed so much. Joe Mama says, what's left to be excited about besides Black Panther, Deadpool 3, and the new Blade? What's there to be excited about, man? Well, it's not just comic book movies. There's actually some real movies coming out. But, you know, talking about blockbuster movies, I'm excited for Avatar 2. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Then you have the, like, new Avengers films. You have, like, I can't really say there's a lot of solo Marvel films that get me excited other than Blade. But I know there's a handful of other really cool movies coming out that aren't necessarily comic book blockbuster movies. And thank you, Joe Mama, for the question. Hey, I'm just looking. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I'm sort of, in a weird way, I'm looking forward to Black Adam. I'm hoping it's not just like the most cliche comic book movie ever made. But if it is, you can almost say, okay, I'm done with DC. Like, we can finally just go, yeah, we're done here. We're done. Let's just move on. Like, I want them to, like, wow us, but I have a feeling they will not. The next one comes from Carter Lovejoy. Did you see the Last of Us HBO trailer that dropped recently? If so, thoughts? I did watch the trailer, and it looks cool. I like the somber tone of it. It looks kind of like I expected it would. I don't really recall anything that blew my hair back, but I'm looking forward to the series. I love a good post-apocalyptic series. And something about that relaxes me. And I'm almost getting to a point in my life where I feel like society is inducing panic attacks. Like, the older I get, the more afraid I get of people. And this isn't even a joke. The other day I was driving and I was like, you know what would make this better if no one else was on the road right now? And then the other day I was in my backyard and I was hearing like people talk in the distance and like a dog barking. And I was just like, you know what? If this is complete silence, I think I would like that. For some reason, when I hear like cars drive past my house, like my heart starts fluttering. I don't know what's wrong with me. Did I answer your question? Yes, my point was post-apocalyptic movies and series relax me because I like when the characters are walking around in a desolate wasteland with no one for miles, just scavenging through like an old grocery store for cans of beans. That relaxes me. If that was my reality, I think I would be at peace. Let's go to the next question before it gets too depressing. The next one comes from Michael Parton. Currently getting tipsy right now. Sorry, I can't stay. It's okay. Go take a nap. Watch the replay tomorrow, man. But thanks for joining. Shut Up Cat Productions. Hey, John. Hope all is well. Worst CGI in a movie. Shit, where do you start with that? Okay, if you want, off the top of my head, when I think of bad CG, everyone says The Mummy Returns with The Rock. That's fine. For me, the worst CGI, and keep in mind, this was in 1995, right? CGI wasn't that great, but I remember as a kid, and think about when you're a kid, you don't really notice things like this. You shouldn't notice things like this. But I remember watching Spawn in theaters, and the last 10 minutes of that film, I was like, what just happened here? Like, I have SNES video games at home that look better than this shit. Yeah, those final moments in the movie Spawn where it takes place in hell, it's comically bad. And I think the director and the producers came out since the movie and they were like, yeah, we ran out of money and we just couldn't make it look any better. And I was like, I get it, but at the same time, it would have been better just not to do it. For me, that's always some of the worst CGI. In recent years, I mean, gosh, the weird thing is, if you look at some CG in modern movies that are coming out, and by the way, let me scoot the chat over here so I can read both chat logs. Spawn was in 1990. I'm sorry. Yes, Spawn was in 1997. I'm sorry. I don't have my IMDb computer chip plugged into my head to where I can remember every single detail about every single thing. So please forgive. I'm going to punish myself right now. Are you guys ready for it? I want you to see this. How dare I get it wrong? Indiana Jones 4, someone said had some bad CGI. Yeah, what do you guys think has some bad CGI in movies in the last 5 years? Which movie in the last 5 years had the worst CGI? Let me know that down below. All right, let's keep going here. Jamin says, YouTube has been recommending your older videos for some reason, and it's a trip seeing how you've evolved over time. Do you ever go back and watch your older videos? Do you watch the videos you make now? Occasionally. Occasionally, I do go back and I go on this weird binge of watching my older videos. And it's kind of weird to me because I watch them and I'm like, I know that's me. I sort of remember making that video, but I watch it. I'm like, who is that? like the balls on that kid were ginormous. There was something weird and pure and unadulterated about those earlier videos that are a little bit psychotic in a weird way, right? Like going back and watching them, I can truly see the evil behind my eyes in those earlier videos. And a certain level of immaturity, but that certain level of immaturity are why those videos have the charm they do. I'm glad they're made. Some of them are a little bit embarrassing to show people. Yeah, I do go on a slew of watching my older videos. And sometimes I'll be honest, like I'm not trying to sound so self-indulgent, but are pretentious. But some of my older videos, I'll go back and be like, man, that was comedy gold. Like there's like that little sliver of comedy gold in this video that I feel like was like wasted. I was like, if that one little 30-second section of that video could have been a TikTok video, it would have went viral. Just little things like that. So yeah, sometimes I go back and watch my older videos. And sometimes I watch my newer videos, yeah. But the thing with me is I always rewatch old videos, and I always think to myself, oh shit, I should have said this, or I should have done that, or I should have done this. I don't know. Sometimes I never feel like they're good enough, but yeah, I do go back and watch older videos. It's a weird phenomenon watching them. It almost feels like I made those 57 years ago. It's weird. It makes me feel old watching them, even though some of them are only 10 years old. She-Hulk has bad CGI. Yeah, it's not the only thing it has bad. The Jaws video is stuck in my recommendations. Everyone says that. The Jaws video is forever stuck in everyone's recommendations. For some odd reason, whatever algorithmic thing YouTube gave that video, I wish I could get on all my videos. If I could just get 2.5 million views on every single video, I would play with a shark in a pool every single video. I don't give a shit. You would just see, no matter what I was talking about, it would take place in my bathtub, and I would be playing with a toy shark. No matter what we're talking about. We could be talking about politics, financial advice, the newest movie that just came out that doesn't even reference sharks or have anything to do with sharks. I would still be naked in my bathtub playing with a toy shark just to get the YouTube algorithm on my side again. So I'm just putting that out there. You know what I need to do? Every video I make, I'm just going to tag with Jaws in my pool. Hopefully it works out. Your old videos are classics to me. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. The dry video is comedy gold. Thank you for that. That means a lot. Cats had bad CGI. Yes, Cats did. I'm trying to think of like a good movie that had like bad CGI. Wonder Woman 84 was awful. That was a big pile of shit. Yes, it was. Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, Thor Love and Thunder. Some of the CG was fine, but some of it just looked like they were just trying to get to the finish line. Like, okay, we got 7 minutes. We got to make something. Something about Thor just looked so non-cinematic. Just some of the shots where they shoot it in like they're shooting it in some random room of someone's house. And it's like, why is this scene taking place here? This doesn't feel cinematic or grand. It just feels like bad. The one scene where Heimdall's son, they have the vision of him. Ugh. So bad. Did I say Heimdall or Heimdall? I don't know what I said. The third act of Black Panther is atrociously bad and ugly. You put characters wearing like black suits in an environment that's dark blue and black. Not exactly the most flattering color palette. All right, let's get back to some of the questions here. I want to catch up and try to keep up here. Bastiel says, hello, John. How do you like the movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio? A lot of people hate it. I would say the first half of the movie is good. I enjoy the first act of them going on that adventure, getting to the island, living a life on a small island. I think that's interesting. You know, speaking of like wanting to be a recluse, there's a certain intrigue to that. The second half of the movie where the conflict picks up and he starts envisioning himself in a video game side-scrolling through the jungle, it's utterly atrocious. But I think overall it's a decent movie to watch at least once. And also there's a shark attack in that movie. Everything relates to sharks. Why does everything relate to sharks in my life? What does that say about me? I don't know. The next one comes from John Campia. And for our next main topic, Flickpick is the man. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Well, thank you, John Campia. And take this with a grain of salt. Now, listen, before I say this, I want to say this. He does a good movie-related show. He really does. I'm almost envious of how much shit they can cover in one show and how many topics they can dive into and all the editing that goes into it. That's a lot of work. For me, I just like to do a very simple one-man show, just me and you guys, where I talk about one topic and then I talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And that's the reason I like the live shows. I'm not talking about what I give a shit about. I'm talking about what you guys give a shit about. This is for you. So, Mike Peters says, John, do you have a go-to movie to watch when you're depressed? Mine is Lord of the Rings trilogy. Watching Frodo endure the quest somehow helps me. That makes sense. Yeah, that I get it. Yeah, you go on this long journey. There's a lot of ups and downs, but by the end of it, you go to Mordor, you drop all your problems in a giant volcano, and everything is cool. So you go back to the Shire, you lay down on a bed. There's a whole bunch of little elves jumping all around. It's very sexy. I didn't mean to say that. It's very fantastical, and it's a good time, and it's all good. I get it, man. Completely understand. Movies I like to watch when I'm feeling a little bit down and depressed, it's weird for me. I watch a lot of comfort food movies. Let me think here. I would watch something like the movie Hook, a fantastical adventure. It reminds me of my childhood when life was ahead of me, and it takes me to my happy place. So something like the movie Hook or something like the movie Home Alone. Really just about anything from my childhood will make me happy. Those are like a few of my go-tos. Or like we talked about Gladiator earlier. Gladiator just takes me to a different time period. Really, I think any movie that takes you away or lets you forget about whatever current depression you're in or current state you're in, like movies that take place in modern day times, if I'm feeling down and out, I can't watch those types of movies. I need to go somewhere else. I need to go to the 1980s or the 1800s, or I need to go to the future. I just need to get away from now. So yeah, the Lord of the Rings though, that definitely does make sense. Night King 01 says, yes, John, seeing it on the big screen did make me enjoy it. Just whenever Sam Worthington comes on screen, I'm taken out of it. Clip from new one, though, at the end. Yeah, I heard there's some footage from the new one at the end of Avatar. Sam Worthington is not a very good actor. Now, Hollywood wanted him to be the next big thing because with Avatar, every other movie wanted to capitalize on the success of that and put Sam Worthington in their movie. But the guy just can't act. He can't hide his Australian accent to save his life. It always slips out. And even when it's not slipping out, you can hear it in his voice, his vocal tones. He's trying to suppress that Australian accent. So what other so when it comes to like acting, if you have an accent, the trick is to numb your voice to make you have an American accent. But some foreign actors almost overdo it. So rather than, they go, then we went over here, and it's like this weird monotone sounding voice. And Sam Worthington, if you watch Avatar, he's trying to do it, and at other times it slips out. Like you can hear the Australian accent slip out. It's kind of weird and bizarre. And I think, wasn't Avatar the first major movie he ever starred in with an American accent? It really shows. But yeah, Sam Worthington, man. He's just happy fucking Avatar 2 is going to have 5 more sequels. Isn't he? Connor Malloy says, thoughts on Top Gun Maverick. I talked about this quite a bit. I have a first reaction of it. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more in my top 10 movies of the year. I love it. It's pure. It gives you exactly what you thought you wanted to get from the trailer. And that's what we need more of. Just pure, unadulterated entertainment. It doesn't try to cater to anyone. It just says, here it is, man. Here's the movie. It's a good time. Take it or leave it. And it seems like a lot of people wanted to take it because it made a lot of money. Okay, the next one comes from Symbiote Gang. Hey, John, have you ever watched the movie John, have you ever learned how to read? No, I have not. John, have you ever watched the movie Once Were Warriors? And did you hear Conor McGregor is going to be the new Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal? Do a Conor McGregor Roadhouse impression. Oh, God, I don't know if I can do like an Irish, Scottish accent that's all high-pitched and weird. So what if she calls my mother a whore? And then you have Jake Gyllenhaal just going, well, is she? I don't know. Was that a really bad Scottish accent? I feel like it was, and I'm sorry for that. I'm looking forward to the new Roadhouse with Gyllenhaal. I will just say that. I didn't know Conor McGregor was in it. But then again, that works for me. I would imagine he'll be one of the the evil henchmen for the evil guy that runs the small town. That's just my guess. Joseph Knowles says, hey, John, favorite Saving Private Ryan character? Probably Tom Hanks. No, Barry Pepper as the sniper. When he's just taking out fuckers in the church tower at the end of the movie, that's some good stuff. Guy from Kings Highway says, walking my dog. Did you ever have a dog? I've had many of dogs. My first dog I recall his name was Boomer. He was a mutt. He was a boxer mixed with something else. We don't know, but he lived to be like old, like 17 years. And I remember as a kid laying on his belly, watching the animated Disney classic Dumbo as I laid on his belly. I still vividly remember that. And he would just lay there and let me use him as a pillow. Good times. But I've had a few other dogs since then. Eventually, I'd like to get another one. Feisty Manx 1313 says, are you into gangster films at all? If so, what are your favorites? It definitely isn't Gangster Squad. God, that was bad. I like movies like Casino or Goodfellas. I like those types of movies. If you're talking about gang movies, not just gangsters, I'll give you a crazy one. It's The Warriors. Now that's the ultimate gangster movie in my opinion. They just need to get back to Coney Island. But yeah, those are a few. I like any gangster film with Joe Pesci. Clone Girl 22 says, have you seen the artwork for the new 4K Pulp Fiction Steelbook? I love it and hate it. I don't think I have. Let me look at it right now. I might have seen it. Was it a little bit like basic looking? Steelbook 4K Pulp Fiction. Ooh, yeah, man. So it's got them dancing on the dance floor at what is it, Jack Rabbit's restaurant. I don't hate the cover. I think it's an iconic cover. I think it makes sense for the movie. I mean, what else would you put on the cover for it? I mean, I would have put the basement scene with the gimp. That's maybe what I would have put. But I'm weird. But I think that's a good cover. I don't have any complaints with that. The next one comes from Morbius of Lediverse. I think I said that right. Oh, Morbius of Lediverse. Now I get it. That's a good name. It's Morbin time, motherfuckers. All right, John, do you think the Marvel legend Morbius might appear in Deadpool 3? It would be funny if he did and they just decapitated him and that was it. Now, the fact that it's owned by Sony, probably not. But what else are you ever going to do with Morbius? Besides try to re-release it once again to make $7. I would morb all over the theater if I saw my little angel, Michael Morbius. Michael Morbius is an angel, isn't he? I'll tell you that. Joe Mama says, thoughts on failed Universal Monsters reboot? Man, are you talking about what Universal did with the Monsters character? Yes. So they've tried a few times. They tried with The Mummy starring Tom Cruise. But I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. How did they think this would be the launching pad to go into a new universe of monster type movies? Like, it was terrible in every way. Like, the Mummy chick was bad. Tom Cruise was not right as a character of Van Helsing. They threw in Russell Crowe in there as like Dr. Hyde. It was just a mishmash of a hollow, bloated Hollywood type movie. It's one of those movies that's a prime example of when you get too many producers giving their thoughts and they have no actual creative or original thoughts to give. That's what you get. You get something like The Mummy starring Tom Cruise. Now, with Universal and the whole Monsters universe, I think there's room to go that direction. And some people like The Invisible Man that came out a few years ago. I think it was okay. I don't think it was that great of a movie. Like, you don't like, oh, I'm going to go watch Invisible Man again. I've never heard anyone say that. But yeah, I would like if they actually launched that universe and went into the 1920s or the 1930s and got away from anything modern day and just kept to that time period. I think there was something they could do there. Or that maybe if Universal has the Peacock network, right? What if they launched, like, I don't know, a whole bunch of original series, like the Wolfman series or a Mummy series, but set in the 1940s? I don't know. But that's what I would prefer to see. It needs to get away from the modern day Hollywood blockbuster-esque tones that they're trying to go for and go back to something simple. The next one comes from Shut Up Cat Productions. My innie is an Audi. What's your Halloween like? What's your, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay home and have trick-or-treaters show up. My girlfriend and I, we want to dress as Marty and Doc Brown. I want to be Marty. I'm going to make her Doc Brown. And then maybe I can do my car up like, I have a car that kind of looks like a DeLorean. So maybe I can do that up like the DeLorean. I'll put like a Mr. Fusion on the back of it. That'd be pretty sweet. I don't know. Probably just staying home and having trick-or-treaters come over. But tonight, I'll tell you what I'm doing in the spirit of Halloween is I'm going to go home and watch me some Hocus Pocus 2, baby. That's what I need. Put that inside of me right now. That sounds weird. Did you guys watch Hocus Pocus 2 yet? Was it good? Please don't be a disappointment. Elliot Cecil says Blade is in trouble and it only has 2 action scenes. What? Now I heard that the director dropped out of Blade, but it only has 2 action scenes. I don't know what you're talking about. But I did hear the director dropped out. John, what's the model of your first car? My first car was a GMC Jimmy, which sounds kind of weird, a Jimmy, but it was like a small SUV. Now I have a Toyota CHR, which is another small SUV. Are you home? Wait, are you not home now? So, okay, right now I'm in my old apartment, but the only thing in my apartment is my YouTube setup. Everything else is gone. I have nothing in my kitchen, my living room, my bedroom. That's all at my new house. So my lease for my current apartment is up in 2 days. And my new office wasn't quite complete yet at my house. So I still had my lease here. So I kept all my YouTube shit here to keep making videos in the meantime. So now I'm going to transition that over this next week. So no, I'm in my old office right now, but I'll slowly transition it into my new setup or my new office, which I'm not looking forward to. And I'm not going to be able to sleep for the next 3 days. I'll put it that way. And by the way, quick announcement. I mentioned this quickly before, but you guys are here now. Here's an announcement. We will be doing a brand new Blu-ray complete movie collection video. Yay! So all that shit back there on those shelves, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to film that video probably tomorrow. I don't know when it will be released, but I assure you I'm filming it tomorrow. So yeah, look out for that. That'll be a good time. Kind of scares me. It's a little daunting to think about, but every couple years we got to do one. A lot of things have changed, but a lot of things have stayed the same. Okay, here's what we got here. Elliot Cecil says, yeah, they said it only has 2 action scenes. The new Blade movie has 2 action scenes? Maybe that's why the director quit. He's like, fuck this. That sounds really disappointing. Blade is in trouble because the script is 90 pages. It sounds like to me that they didn't give a shit about that IP and they just felt like it was an obligation movie. So they're like, okay, how can we just get this out so we have Blade and we can put him in the movies and blah, blah, blah. So they're like, we'll make it 90 minutes. We'll give it 2 action scenes. That's really concerning. I don't like that. Elliot Cecil says, She-Hulk is the best MCU anything. Well, I'm glad you're in denial. I don't think you mean that, but if you do, I respect your opinion. Subjectively speaking, and all film and TV shows are subjective, I think it's a big pile of green shit. But I'm glad some people like it. It's just, you know what it is for me? I get that it's supposed to be this fun, carefree, ABC sitcom type show. I get that. But I'm not going to waste my time watching that. Like, to me, that's fine if I like the characters and I actually think the comedy is funny. I'll watch that. But I don't like the characters and I don't think the comedy is funny. Anthony T says, you cannot talk about yourself being in a tub and tease us. My left ball hurts already. I'm saving that for my OnlyFans. I got to save that for when I run out of content and I have nothing else to give you guys as far as like thoughts or anything of substance, I'll just start making videos in the bathtub for my OnlyFans, playing with a toy shark. It'll be classy, right? It won't be completely vulgar, but it'll be classy. So in about 5 years, I'll go that route. I'm just kidding. But I will play with a toy shark. Mr. 47 says, have you checked out Dahmer at all? Yes, I'm halfway through Dahmer. I love that shit. I think it's gotten better as the show has progressed. I think the like second and third episode were kind of like a sludgy drag out few episodes, but I enjoy it. That's my kind of show. I love serial killers. I love sociopaths. There's so much I want to talk about. When I finish it, I'll talk about it or make a video or something about it. But yeah, the Jeffrey Dahmer sort of reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite though, doesn't he? Just like his speech patterns. He lives with his grandma. No, I swear, I didn't put a head in the freezer. No, there's no dead bodies in here. My family just gave me pork chops for Christmas and they're going bad. Like it's unintentionally hilarious and sadistic at the same time. I like it. I can't wait to finish it. He is brilliant, or Evan Peters is brilliant and underrated in my opinion. Tragic what the real life guy did and got away with due to negligence from the cops. Yeah, Dahmer really makes you realize how incompetent the legal system is at times. But you have to understand, in the 1980s, early 90s, I mean, you could get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, things weren't as connected as they are now. But yeah, it's terrifying how much you got away with. DJ Run says, what's one casting change that would have made a great movie even better? I don't know. Jared Leto as Morbius or Jared Leto, somebody else playing the Joker would have been great. But you said a great movie even better. That's a great question. I'm trying to think of a movie that's good, but changing the cast or the main character with someone else could have made it slightly better. That's a great question. Ooh. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one that really stands out here. I don't know. It's kind of, sometimes I go the opposite of that. I think of movies and I think if you read about certain movies, you read about the other possible casting choices they could have had and how different that movie could have been. For example, I think of like Forrest Gump. Originally, they wanted John Travolta to play Forrest Gump. Now, could you imagine that? Now, we saw John Travolta play a special needs type guy in the movie The Fanatic, and we see what he did with that performance. Now, take that and put it into Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump could have been the worst, best movie ever made. But I'm glad that we got Tom Hanks. Swap Brie Larson for Elizabeth Moss. Swap Brie Larson for a fucking mop stick or a broom handle, and it would have been a better Captain Marvel. Yes. So I don't know what's homoerotic, but I'm all for it. I'm not afraid of anything. All right, the next thing comes from... The next question comes from Avery A. John, are you and 780 of your subscribers take 11 gorillas in an all-out brawl? I think 780 of my subscribers, I think we could take a gorilla. Sure, yes. 11 gorillas? Maybe, I don't know. At least one, I know that. Claudia Rogajon says, Tom Cruise wasn't Van Helsing, my guy, but yeah, he was similar. He basically was. No, I think Tom Cruise was basically more or less Van Helsing in The Mummy. Wasn't that established? He was basically Van Helsing, and he was going to be Van Helsing in the new Monsters universe for Universal. He was going to be the thing that connects every single movie, sort of the guy who goes on these big hunts, these adventures, figuring out everything along the way. Yeah, he was basically Van Helsing. Don't try to correct me. John Travolta as Rain Man. Ooh, no thanks. John, have you watched Andor? Yeah, I've watched the 4 episodes of Andor. Here's what I'm going to say about it. I was going to make a video on the first 3 episodes, and maybe I'll make a video once I'm done with it, the show. But the thing about Andor is I appreciate the tone. I like that it's taking itself a little bit more serious. It's not trying to cater to general audiences who like Star Wars and saying, oh, here's something that you've seen in another Star Wars movie. Here's Jar Jar Binks. Here's Darth Vader. It's not trying to do any of that. It's just trying to tell a story that happens to take place in the Star Wars universe. I like that. But with all that said, not much has happened, has it? It's sort of like, I don't want to use the term boring. I don't want to say that, but I'm not exactly all that intrigued by any certain character in it. Like Andor himself is an okay character to me, but I really just don't care about anyone in the show. And I wish I did. I want to, because I like the tone so much. I just wish more would happen. That's my biggest issue so far. The next one comes from Night King 01. Speaking of movies that take me to my happy place, Rumble in the Bronx. What an over-the-top 90s classic. That terrible dubbing makes it glorious. Yeah, the charm of Rumble in the Bronx is that terrible fucking dubbing. And I remember seeing that in the... I saw that for the first time in 95. I think the movie was originally made in like 1993, and it didn't get an American theatrical release until 95. But I remember seeing it in theaters. And just like that was the day I fell in love with Jackie Chan. But yeah, that movies like that are so pure, right? That watching Jackie Chan fight takes me to a happy place. Now, watching Jackie Chan in movies like Shanghai Nights doesn't necessarily take me to a happy place. James Dosher says, "Hey John, how's it going?" It's going pretty good, James. How's it going with you, man? No complaints. And by the way, quick announcement. If you guys are watching right now, and I want to thank everyone how many people are watching right now? 257 people. It's a Friday night. We got 257 people watching. I do appreciate that. And a big thanks to you guys for watching. What I want you to do is stay tuned until after the video, okay? Come back to this video once it's published, and you can comment down below the video. That way I can see the comments. If you want a chance to win, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 4K, just leave a comment down below, like the video, and tell me why you want this. I'll randomly pick somebody, and I'll comment back to you, and then I'll email you. So if you want a chance to win this, wait till this video is published, leave a comment, like the video for a chance to win this, which, by the way, is out on 4K, or it's coming out very soon. This was sent to me to talk about. I always enjoyed this movie. It's very simple. It's like pure mid-90s horror. Great concept. And also, speaking of new Blu-ray movies, and we have this right here, the Paranormal Activity movies. I did not know they made 8 of these things, but this comes with all 8 Paranormal Activity movies. The only one I've ever seen is the first movie. I think it was an interesting concept, and if you want to make a cheap movie that makes a lot of money, that was the formula to do it. But I don't know if I would ever go back and revisit any of these, but hey, they exist right now in this box set. So either way, this exists right. I think it's a nice box set. I like that it comes with all 8 movies. I just know some of these are very bad. And it's like, how many times can you rewatch the Paranormal Activity movies? These are all Blu-ray, though. I don't think these are 4K. But then again, do you really need Paranormal Activity movies on 4K? Probably not. But yeah, are you guys going to pick this box set up? Let me know. Okay, the next one comes from Shut Up Cat Productions. It's really small. Favorite TV theme? Sing it. Favorite TV theme? I like the theme to Seinfeld. The theme song in Seinfeld, I like that. I can't really reproduce it. Yeah, I can't do it. Now I have to hear it. I have to hear the Seinfeld theme now. Hang on. Give it to me. I want to hear it. Every time I come in a room, I want this to play. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I want turn the audio down. Boop. Yeah, I like that theme song quite a bit. There's a lot of others I like that take me to a happy place. I mean, if you want to talk about like newer TV shows, the Mandalorian theme I think was perfect. That really set the mood and got me excited to watch it. The Game of Thrones theme used to get me really excited. I just think the theme song belonged in Game of Thrones. It doesn't belong in House of the Dragon. But I thought that was a good theme song. And my question to you guys right now is, what are some of your favorite TV theme songs of all time? I mean, that 70s show had a pretty good theme song. Oh, man, I know there's... Oh, Married with Children. You can't have one without the other. Married with Children, that's one. Okay, the next one comes from Claudia Rogajan. Yes. Marshala, sorry. It's going too fast. Slow down. Okay, hang on. Okay, the new Blade is getting frustrated as it was his idea to bring Blade into the MCU, apparently. Also, 2 action scenes in a martial arts movie. What the F? Yeah, the actor, I would be mad too if I signed up for this thinking it's going to be the next big iconic thing, and you realize, no, they don't really give a shit about your movie. It's going to be 90 minutes long. The director doesn't want to be part of it, and you're going to have 2 action scenes in a 90-minute action movie. It's like, can we just not go back to what made the 1998 Blade so great and phenomenal, and it still holds up to this day? Go back and duplicate that formula and just do it again. DJ Run says, besides Morgan Freeman, who is your favorite actor in Shawshank Redemption? Ooh, man. I mean, I guess Tim Robbins, who plays Andy. But I also like the, I forget the actor's name. He plays the one guard, the main guard in the movie. I thought he did a really good job. Brandon Caterpillar says Black Adam can't be worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. That's a good point. Even if Black Adam is this like generic comic book movie that we've already seen 50 other times, at least it won't be as like mind-numbing as Thor: Love and Thunder. At least you'll be like, okay, The Rock looks like a big muscular superhero guy, and you're not trying to bog it down with all this stupid child humor. Okay. Oh, there's no screaming goats? If there's no screaming goats in Black Adam, it's already going to be a better movie than Thor: Love and Thunder. Peacemaker intro, baby. Yeah, that was a catchy intro. Smallville theme. Okay. The Golden Girls. Ooh, good pick, man. The Daredevil theme is excellent. I completely agree with you. There's also like some metal remixes of the Daredevil theme that I think you should check out. Power Rangers theme. Yeah. Even as a kid, I never cared about the Power Rangers. I was never into the Power Rangers ever. But as a kid, the theme song got me hyped up, man. Like, oh, I could do scissor kicks in my backyard for hours. Now, if you want to talk about one movie theme that got me hyped up and made me do scissor kicks, was the Mortal Kombat theme from 1995 Mortal Kombat. The Pokemon theme. I don't even know what the Pokemon theme is. Go Power Rangers. Yeah, absolutely. The next one comes from Brian Blenolds. Talk about how great The Proposal is. With Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. Is that what we're talking about? Is that the movie? Are we talking about... Is there another movie called The Proposal? The Proposal. We're talking about the rom-com movie, right? Okay, yes, I was right. I think I've seen that once, and it just felt like a generic rom-com movie with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. What was that new movie they were in where they go on a quest for gold? Whatever that was. The first act was okay. After that, I was like, oh, I can't. I almost wanted to shut it off. And the next one, Elliot Cecil says, John, you should watch Amazon's Jack Ryan. I've heard that quite a bit. Maybe one day. There's so much. Dude, right now is like almost overwhelming. I don't know how people don't have panic attacks every day that make YouTube videos talking about movies and TV. There's like 87 shows right now. You basically have to dedicate 93 hours of your week to watching new TV shows. Then there's a new movie or two that come out, and then you have to make videos about all of this shit. I don't know how people do it. I'm just taking my time. I miss episodic TV series that came one episode a week. You get one new episode a week. I can keep up with that. But when you drop entire seasons of Cobra Kai, Dahmer, and then you have, it's just like, I can't keep up, man. So the fact, I know Jack Ryan might be an entertaining, like, action type show, and I like the guy who's playing the new Jack Ryan. He actually looks legit. It's just on the very bottom of a very long to-do list. James Dosher says, have you seen Romancing the Stone from 1984? I've never sat down and watched all of it. I know some people I think Tarantino loves that movie quite a bit. I've always wanted to watch it. I've just never got around to seeing all of it. I've seen bits and pieces over the years, but never all of the movie. Claudia Rogajon says, do you like Bullseye as a villain in Daredevil Season 3? I hope they bring him back based on the end scene in Season 3 with him alive, cool skills. I think if you're going to make a Daredevil show, you really do need the character of Bullseye. He's one of the iconic villains, and I think there's a lot you can do with him. Like, he can be the main foe, or at least one of the main foes to Daredevil throughout the series. So I think he's necessary. But from everything I'm hearing about the new season of Daredevil, they're sort of doing like a soft reboot. It's almost like they're redoing a lot of things, or pretending like a lot of things never happened. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going to happen, but I would like to see Daredevil return, yeah. Because Daredevil doesn't have a lot of great villains. That's the truth. He only has a few. So you really have to capitalize on the ones they have. Night King 01 says, John, my boy, do a watch party rumble in the Bronx. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I can't promise that. But eventually we will do a live movie night together. It's just we have to pick the right time and the right movie at some point. Now, if you guys have a recommendation for a live movie night, keep in mind it would be like what we're doing right now, but we'll watch the movie together. We'll have popcorn. We'll casually talk about the movie. I can't actually show the movie on the screen due to copyright, but we can all start it together and watch it together for the course of a couple of hours. So if you guys have a movie night recommendation, let me know. And I would probably pick a movie that would be on Netflix because most people have Netflix. So we could all just watch the same movie on Netflix. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. But if you have a recommendation, let me know. Night King 01 says, Elliot Cecil says, John, should I pet my cat or go to work? Take your cat to work and pet your cat there. Charismatic Character says, Sean Connery as Gandalf was my first casting choice. That would be interesting. Didn't they originally want him to be in the 1990s Lord of the Rings movie? Like, they had an idea for a Lord of the Rings movie in the 1990s, and that was their original casting choice, I swear. But he wanted too much money, and the budget at the time was way too low. The original concept for the Lord of the Rings trilogy was, I believe, they wanted to basically put all three movies into one 2.5 hour movie. And Peter Jackson was like, nah, we can't make that shit. So they scrapped it and put it on a shelf for a couple of years. I think that was the original idea behind it. Because they didn't have much faith that it would make as much money as it did to make 2 more sequels. Hocus Pocus 2, laughing my ass off. Was Hocus Pocus 2? Was it good? No, I'm going to go home and watch it. That would be a good movie night, though. But I'm going to watch it tonight. So that probably won't happen. Big Trouble Little China. Okay. Justice League 2017. No, thank you. We should all watch Morbius together. That's what we should watch. Dark Knight Watch Party. Yeah, I'll come up with something we can watch together. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to tie it into something that's big and topical coming out around the same time. I'm not sure what that is. Or in the next, like, you know what would be a good watch party? Like, around Thanksgiving time, or maybe around Halloween time, we watch like a horror film together. Something like that. Or around Thanksgiving time, around Christmas time, we could watch something like the movie Hook together, or Home Alone together. That could be fun. Will you be on edibles? Yes, I will. And all of you should be too. All right, the next one comes from, maybe I'll try to get a co-host in there too. Big Tony Rockets says Kickboxer 1989 is my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I'll tell you what my guilty pleasure is. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme in a movie called Lionheart. Go watch that shit. Claudia Rogajon says, you're thinking of Jack Reacher, John. Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry. Jesus, I'm sorry. Jack Ryan is also an Amazon Prime show, and so is Jack Reacher, but I'm probably never going to watch either. Jack Ryan is a complete generic crap fire on Amazon. Watch Jack Reacher, not Jack Ryan. Yes. When I was talking earlier, I was referring to Jack Reacher. I'm sorry. Sometimes things just get combobulated in my brain. When I'm looking at 8,000 messages right now and the bright lights of the camera and trying to talk and give insights with a little bit of substance, with a hint of wittiness, some things, some ideas, some thoughts get mushy in my brain. And for that, I am sorry. I will never make a mistake again. And if I do, well, nothing will probably happen. So I'm sorry. The next one comes from Night King 01. What's even sadder about Blade is it's going to be a period piece starting out in the 1920s England and going throughout the years. Now they're overhauling the script. Ooh, that sounds messy. Here's what they need to do with Blade, okay? This is what the Blade should have been. The majority of Blade should take place in the 1980s. People love the 1980s. I love it, man. There's a retro vibe you can give that. It would separate it from the rest of the MCU. Have the majority of Blade take place in the 1980s. Think about that. A vampire hunter, 1980s, all kinds of cool shit could happen. Then, in the third act of the movie, it takes place in modern time. Maybe that one vampire that escaped him in the 80s that he thought was dead has lived on throughout the years, and he's back in modern times. And then Blade, we catch up with him in the third act, and it takes place in 2022. There you go, Marvel. I just shit out an idea instantaneously, and I'm sure it's better than whatever you guys have right now. If that's an idea you guys would like to watch, let me know. But for me, I think that sounds like a really cool idea. I would like to watch that Blade movie now. Do you think Halloween Ends will suck? I don't think it can be worse than the second movie that just came out a couple years ago. I don't think it can be worse than that. I want it to be good. I really do. I'm just glad it's over. Finally, a finale and a conclusion. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'm like, I don't think it'll be this next big iconic horror film. That would be a great way to explain the vampire's absence from the MCU. Actually, it would be a good idea, wouldn't it? They've been hiding for 30 years. That would make sense, wouldn't it? John, how is your eyesight? This eye is blurry. Like, I really can't read anything. I can see very blurry objects. This eye is great. This eye sucks. That's where I'm at in life. Kind of sucks, but what can you do, man? Yeah, should I put the glasses on? Ooh, yeah. These glasses make everything better. They instantly make me happier. And I'm going to tell you guys why you should get glasses. If you're feeling a little bit down, get rose tinted glasses. As soon as you put them on, it makes everything happy and you just instantly feel better about life. The next one comes from Claudia Rojan. We should watch City Hunter with Jackie Chan. It's free on YouTube, the original language. The movie is so hilarious and bad at the same time. I've never seen it. That could be an interesting pick. A great flick pick, if you will. And by the way, the term flick pick will be used at some point. It might just be the title of the new movie nights that we watch together. But you guys pick the flick. Maybe I'll have a poll that you guys can vote on somewhere on social media. I'll put like 3 or 4 movies on it and we can pick one. You look like Tyler Durden with those glasses on. Yeah? And now you want to watch me kick my own ass? John, I liked your new Flick Trip. Yes, thank you for that. I put up a brand new Flick Trip yesterday. Go watch it, guys. I think you guys will enjoy this Flick Trip. It's one of the better flick trips I've made in a long time, and I lost a lot of footage that I was going to include, but I feel like for some reason it helped make it feel more personable in the rest of the flick trip video. And also in that flick trip video, I buy something really cool. I give you guys a quick tour of my new house, my new office setup, and my new Jaws themed bathroom. So yeah, go watch the newest flick trip video that was just released like a day or two ago on this channel. Go check it out. And yeah, and by the way, if you did watch it, thank you guys for that. And I've listened to your complaints over the course of the last few months. John, make more videos. Well, I made more videos, and now it's up to you to go watch that shit. We got a new flick trip video. We have a new movie night video that's over on the Flick Pick channel. And just about 10 minutes before posting this new live show, I put out a brand new review for the movie Smile. So there's like 3 new videos, plus now we have another new hour of content happening right now. So there you go, society, my gift to you. A slight form of entertainment from a guy who's utterly insane. It's the least I can do. All right, let's answer some more questions here. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, please get them in right now. I'm gonna answer the remaining questions for like whatever you guys can post in the questions or comments for the next minute. I will answer all of those. So yeah, just a fair warning to you guys. Claudia Rogajon says, my guilty pleasure is Universal Soldier. Watch it for Dolph Lundgren alone. He is so crazy and over the top. It's hilariously amazing. Yeah, I like Universal Soldier, but not one of my favorite like 80s action movies. I'd rather just watch Predator or RoboCop any day of the week. Elliot Cecil says, John, should I pet my cat or turn off my lamp? You should go get a goldfish and tell it all of your secrets because it can never tell anyone else. Andrew Gordon says, John, the goats just wrapped up. John, the goats just wrapped up Game of Thrones for the first time. Besides season 3, what's your thoughts? In my opinion, I think it's the best show. Oh, you said season 8. Sorry, that's how bad my eyesight is. 8s look like 3s. Yeah, Game of Thrones, I think overall, and it's so unfortunate it has a shitty season 8, is the best series ever made, right? House of the Dragon is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm very content. I think it's a great series, and I would say it's the best series on TV right now. But yeah, minus season 8, Game of Thrones was one of the best series ever made. And I'm looking forward to the spin-off shows. If House of Dragon is any indication of what the quality is going to be, I'm happy with it. Now, my biggest issue with House of Dragon thus far, and I don't know, have you started watching it yet? This isn't a spoiler, but they do have a time shift in House of Dragon where they change a few actors out. And I'm not quite sold on some of those new actors, the replacements. It sort of took me out of it just a little bit. Night King 01 says, John, I have something better. It's the 80s SE. We get a techno vibe, and his nemesis is Dracula, Deacon Frost, his underling. Okay, so we're talking about the Blade movie with the 1980s vibe, with a techno vibe. Yes, give it a nice synth 80s vibe. Like he's driving his muscle car. He's going to nightclubs with like synthy techno music, and he's just kicking some ass. That's what the new Blade movie should be. But I like the thought of Dracula like escaping him at some point. Claudia Rogajon says, Roland Emmerich directed Universal Soldier, laugh aloud. Roland Emmerich directed some good movies. He really has. But he's also directed a lot of bad movies, and he's lost his mind in recent years, making slop garbage trash like Moonfall and the newest Independence Day movie, which was like a sequel I waited for 20 years, and that's what you're going to do? Like, that's the best idea you had. I enjoyed the character Daemon Targaryen. Oh, Daemon Targaryen is one of the best characters on TV. By far. And he's one of my favorite characters. I love a flawed character. I love a character that isn't pure evil, but isn't a goody two-shoes Boy Scout type character. Every time you think Damon's going to do something evil and sinister, he doesn't. He sort of holds back. And the thing I like about his character is he is loyal to his family. He doesn't quite follow the march to everyone's drum, but he does his own thing. But he's also not a coward. He's a mixture of all these different things I like in characters. I love flawed characters. I always have. That push the limits. And to me, he's perfect. He gives me everything I want. Because at first I thought, okay, he's going to be the coward, evil Uncle Scar type character who's going to stab his brother in the back to take over the kingdom. And he doesn't really do that. And I appreciate that. He's not this stereotype character. He's a great character. I think it's one of Matt Smith's best performances he's ever given. It's a hell of a lot better than the performance he gave in Morbius. He is pure evil after he killed his wife. But his wife kind of sucked. I mean, he was justified. And did he really kill her? Or did he just pet a horse and the rest accidentally happened? That's a question for another time. Elliot Cecil says, Johnny, the lobotomy. One day I do want a lobotomy. I want to forget everything wrong and just go to my happy place and drool until I get old. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap. How long has this live show been? Has it been at least... Okay, I feel like that's a sufficient live show. As always, guys. Oh, one more question. We got one more question here from Brandon Caterpillar. And he says, Synthin, the club muscle car sounds like the Batman. Sounds a lot. Blade and Batman are actually eerily similar if you really think about it in many ways. Sure, Batman's not fighting vampires, but sort of this underground vigilante who has this like crude, rude tech at times and a hideout. There's a lot of similarities there, to me at least. So I'm okay with those things. John is wow, laugh out loud. You have no clue. Crunch Butt Steak says, I want dark and gritty Three Stooges movie. Imagine this shit. Imagine a Three Stooges movie directed by Quentin Tarantino. Would that not be the best movie ever made? Imagine the dialogue and the scenes and the utter insanity that could take place in said movie. That would be a great Three Stooges movie. Okay, one more question here. Night King 01 says, I still love The Patriot, Roland Emmerich's best film, even though it's just a copy and paste of Braveheart. I like it more, and the battles are better. I agree with you. Patriot is in my top 20 movies of all time. Not many people would say that, but I've seen that movie at least 50 times. And if you want to talk about a movie that takes me into my happy place, it gives me everything I want. It's an epic time period war movie. Yes, please. I like me some Mel Gibson. Heath Ledger gives a great supporting role or performance in that movie, which isn't talked about enough. Is it historically accurate? Not quite, but overall, you get the idea. America won. That's all you need to know. Oh, I love it. I think it is Roland Emmerich's best movie. I truly do. And I also agree with you. I like it more than Braveheart. I really do. I like the time period. I think the characters are more interesting. And the battles are pretty badass. And plus, it has a great villain. Tell me about Ohio. Claudia Rogajon says, Three Stooges movie from 2011 is awful. Yeah, it's not a real movie. That's not a real movie. That's when we were getting a slew of comedy movies that were like extended SNL sketches. Tarantino is a huge Three Stooges fan. Well, then he should make the movie. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live show there, but thank you guys for watching, hanging out, chiming in, thanks for the questions, the super chats, just the normal questions, and most importantly, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for looking at my stupid face for an extended amount of time. It does mean a lot. And like I said earlier in the live show, if you guys want a chance to win this, I know what you did last summer, the 4K, and it comes with a Blu-ray and a digital copy. Wait until this video is published on YouTube. It should only take like 10 minutes once the live stream is over. Go to the comment section, give it a like, and leave a comment why you want this, and I'll comment back randomly. Leave me a fun comment. I don't know. I'll randomly pick somebody. Witty, funny, make it stand out. Whatever you want to do. Leave a comment if you want a chance to win this down below. After the video is published on YouTube. Give it like 5 minutes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you very soon. And like I said, if you haven't already, go watch the new Flick Trip video and my new review of the movie Smile. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye, guys.